Good morning, 1 Million Cups. My name is Nick Lindwoodel, and the name of my company is ReviewMyBill.com. I am the founder and creator of the service, and I'll just go right into my presentation. It's the presentation I kind of do for lunch and learns and breakfast with benefits, so I'll kind of give you that and some interesting questions. So, is this not on?
Yeah.
Hello, check 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2.
I swear,
It was working.
it was working.
1, 2, check.
It's working dead, so let's switch it.
Oh.
Here's something dead, I will fix that. Try this one or turn that one.
Check 1, 2.
Hello?
There you go.
Okay, we're here.
Okay, real simply, I'll just start with my presentation. If I was selling a $100 bill today for just $50, by a show of hands, who would take it? I mean, here, who would take that $100 bill, right? And if I did this with you every single month, is there anyone here who wouldn't do that? I mean, bottom line is, if I'm selling a $100 bill, you see it in your checking account, and then I draft your checking account for $50, I think we all would do that. So what I would like to do is show you firsthand my service, because that's basically what I'm doing. I'm putting a $100 credit or savings on your cell phone bill, and we're going to split that credit for 50-50. So basically, I'm going to bill you $50. First thing, I'll just show you black and white. Can I get one person who wants to come up? I'll just do a free bill review for somebody here. Want to come up for a quick second? Yeah, I'll show it to you real quickly. You can just sit right here if you want to, as long as you don't like giving out your cell phone number. Who's your carrier?
AT&T.
Okay. And you have how many lines on your account? Give or take.
4.
4 lines. Okay. And the name on your account?
That'd be Steve Edwards.
Steve Edwards. Okay. Which is too fast for my fingers. And a phone number?
918-289-4817.
Okay. And just an email address.
We need Edwards-Steve.
Edwards-Steve. Okay. Steve?
It's the middle.
Dash.
Yeah.
Not the under.
Edwards
Yeah.
hyphen Steve.
Oh, Edward hyphen Steve. My apologies.
That was an underscore.
At?
At svcglobal.net. He works for them, so I'm still mooching off him.
Hey, I don't blame you. That. Probably the smartest thing in the world to do. Okay, right there on the spot, get a free quote. On the spot, we show you that there's $944 in years in savings. Now that is an estimate. That's obviously off of what other customers have saved with AT&T having 4 lines. But if somebody wants to sign up, that's $78 a month. Basically, you click Start Saving. And on the spot, we're going to see a simple agreement that just basically allows us to share the savings seen over the next 12 months. If a customer is wanting to sign up, which I'm hoping they do, all they do would put in their last 4 of their social security number here and a PIN number on their account, and then obviously a referral code if there's a promotion. Basically, I'll just give you my full presentation here. 95% of people are overpaying on their cell phone bills. I think most people kind of know they are, but it kind of comes to the point of me showing you exactly where you are spending. I mean, that's what we've done. We basically built a program that interfaces with the 4 major cell phone providers' billing software. And what it does, it creates a customized rate plan specific for your account. What it does, it looks at the last 12 months of your usage, what you're currently using, what you're currently spending, and then creates something customized specific for your account. And then what we do is we make the changes with the carrier on your behalf. Oh, I'm going faster than the presentation, I'm sorry. There's no changing carriers. So a lot of times, the first thing people hear is they think they're going to switch from AT&T to T-Mobile or T-Mobile. I think most people are happy with their carrier, or they would have switched already, but what my program's going to do is look at, see what you could save, and then basically make the changes on your behalf. There's no changing contracts. Most people are in contract with their phone. And no contact with the carrier. I think we've all been on the phone with the carrier at one point or another, and you kind of get that pit in your stomach when you have to call the carrier to deal with them. I realized that when we started this, that if we were going to make this a business, I wanted to make it full service for the client, so we make all the changes on the customer's behalf. So all the customer's going to do is see their bill go from here to here. Then ultimately, once the savings are seen, actually seen on their bill, and we share in that savings, and we bill them for 1/2 of that savings seen. Functionality. That's the first thing I always mention to people, is that if I were to tell a client or customer, you got to quit using text messaging, or you got to quit using data, that would be us bottlenecking the customer into using something they don't need, or maybe trying to force them in a direction they don't need to go. So what my program does, it looks at what you're currently using and spending, and make sure that there's no change in that aspect. All it's going to do is look at it through kind of a financial microscope and make sure that you're getting the very, very best deal of all the plans that that carrier offers. So, no out-of-pocket cost. One thing I'm very proud of is that we do not bill anything until the savings are seen. Until you actually see a credit on your bill, or you see actual savings, we do not bill you. So basically, after that point, that's when we split the savings with the customer. Again, we split the savings for the first 12 months. So basically, after the 12 months, we're no longer in contract with us. The savings all goes into the customer's pocket at that point, and then we basically bow out and we quit billing them. My guarantee, my savings guarantee, I think is pretty strong. Basically, if we cannot find savings or credits on your company's or person's cell phone bill, we'll pay your next month's cellular phone bill, which I like to think that's a pretty strong guarantee. A lot of people think, well, what can I give somebody to make them feel like there's a safety net? And when I started this program, I realized, I thought, well, if I can give somebody something that they know for sure they're not going to lose any money, why not give them a guarantee? So basically, I have the ability of placing a credit on almost everyone's bill, or saving money on 95% of customers' bills. So if in the event I get to that point where I cannot save that customer money, then I'll throw a credit on their account, and then we're both happy. So both the client and ReviewMyBill is happy. And then basically I created a promo code for all 1 million cups. So anyone here who wants to try my service, I'd love to show you firsthand my service. I have a promo code 1MC25, and I put a $25 credit on everyone's cell phone bill, just for going to my website and trying it out. So that is basically it. I don't know if that's too short or too long,
No,
but
that's fabulous.
but I'm open for questions if the other microphone's not working.
I don't know, we'll see. Just when I was about to say it didn't, then it did, so. I don't know, maybe,
Just working.
maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Check 1, 2.
That one is. This one?
Yeah,
Yep.
we're
Okay,
good.
we're good.
Yay!
All right.
Oh, my goodness.
Questions over here? Dave?
All right, wait till they get to talking stick.
So I'll make the assumption then that you're going directly into APIs. Your programmer just went in, and so you're automatically pulling information off of their site, and you're pushing information on the site, and you're changing their billing.
I'm sorry?
An API means an application programming interface. It means you're kind of like going
Exactly
through
right.
automated hooks.
Exactly right.
So you're pulling through automated hooks and pushing your savings choices that you decided that the customer can benefit from.
Exactly right.
Pushing that right
My
in.
program has all of the plans that carrier offers, or has offered. There's some I don't know about still. I'm always learning. Whenever I see a new plan, we add it to the program. And what it's going to do is look through all of your carrier's plans and then create something customized for you. So what it's going to do is it's going to be very, very specific. So some people don't use texting. Some people use a lot of data. Some people use a lot of minutes. So what it's going to do is get right down to the bare bones and create something that's savings.
Thank you.
Yes. Could you kind of flesh out how you're actually able to do this? I mean, I don't think that the carriers would necessarily like this very much.
No, they wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm obviously a startup, so I'm not big enough to be on their radar as of yet. Going back to what we do, is I worked in the cell phone industry for the last 15 years, and I found that every customer coming in the stores were overpaying. And I found that if you knew the codes for each carrier's plans, you could utilize those on the customer's account. So I was doing this bill reviews with pen and paper and calculator. I was doing it for companies. The spreads are bigger, that's what I was going after. And a buddy of mine was a programmer, and he said, you know, I told someone else this, you're doing this like a Flintstone. And I argued with him, I really did. I said, no, you don't understand, I use this algorithm for Sprint and this one for Verizon. And he basically said, well, if you're doing the same thing over and over, then you need to automate it. So we sat down for 12 months and built this program that basically will show me down to the penny by creating something specific for your account.
And, I mean, would they have any way, some way down the road to block you? I mean,
Not really. I mean, bottom line is I'm just doing what you do. I mean, basically, if I gave you the plans, if I gave you the plan codes, there's nothing keeping you from going in and calling your carrier and making these changes. Sometimes we deal with certain departments over there that certain plans are reserved for, but as an overall, the carriers can't stop me from, you know, changing plans on a customer's account. So, Sandy?
Great, yeah. So I just did this yesterday. I was at the AT&T store, and I said, you know, you get all these other offers, can you lower my bill? They did. What keeps them from finding the specific customization for me that you find? Is it they're
Well,
not
we're going to
too
use,
much time? Or-
yeah, we're using, sometimes we're using plans that are grandfathered in. Sometimes we're using plans that AT&T is offering to Coca-Cola. They're offering to Anheuser-Busch. They're offering to FedEx. And what we'll do is we'll make sure that you get that particular plan. So each customer is very specific. I mean, there's literally 900 plans on
Right,
it.
but why didn't AT&T find the plan you're going to find for me?
Why didn't they or why did they?
Why didn't they? They didn't.
No, they didn't. I mean, I don't know. You know, without looking at your bill, I don't know what plan they placed you on. But most of the carriers right now have 1 or 2 plans on their shelves. You know, 2 or 3 they tell you about. And what I kind of do is, if you want to, you know, not to be, you know, silly with the comment, but I kind of pull back the curtain on the carrier, and I show these customers all these other 400 or 500 plans or 1,000 plans, and I created a very simple program that basically looks at what you're using, what you're spending, and then comes back to me and says, okay, Sandy's using this, this is what he's spending, this is what he should be spending if he uses our service.
So they're not being deceitful, they're just not,
They're not being deceitful, they're just not telling you everything,
okay.
you know, so. Another question? Yes, sir, we're here.
So, what's the manual effort involved in keeping up to date on the plan changes? Is that all automated or?
No, we basically, whenever I see a new plan, I'm an indirect dealer for Sprint, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, so I can activate customers' accounts, I can do upgrades. So whenever I see a plan coming down the pipeline, I always make sure we add that to the program. So, yeah, it takes a little bit of manual. I mean, basically, we're on the phone, you know, I'm dealing with the carriers probably 4 or 5 hours out of the day, so we're up to date with the plans coming out in 2 weeks. Like, usually Christmas time is when the new plans come out, you know, because everybody's fighting for that customer. They're trying to get somebody to come over. Sprint's got this, and then AT&T has this, and Verizon has this, you know. For a while, Verizon was not the company to negotiate, and they never got into the match against Verizon and the AT&Ts and the T-Mobiles, but finally the time came that they said, well, here, we'll start doing this, you know, so. Next question? Yes, sir.
So, based on what you just said, is the holidays the best time to use your service?
No, anytime. You know, people ask me all the time, they go, well, I'll get around to it. I'll look at your cell phone bill. I'll get around to it the next week or so. I'm so busy. I mean, I just did that bill review for you in 60 seconds. So the only reason I did that live is because if I told you how fast it was, people don't believe it. I think most people don't believe it. When I call on clients and I go to companies and I sit down with them, I call them 3, 4, 5 times and beg them to go to the website. I say, just go to the website, just try it. Oh yeah, I'll get around to it. Next week, call me next week. So finally I get an appointment with them, and then when I come out and I do the 60-second bill review for them, I look at them and go, okay, I'll send you over an agreement later today. And they look at me and go, well, that was it? And I go, yeah, that's it. You know, so, questions over here?
So when you change the plan, does it actually change the contract?
No, it doesn't.
So if you have an unlimited plan, and then you go to your site and they change it to be more allocated toward what you're doing. Let's say you spike back up, and it's
Well, that's a great question. My program does, it looks at the last 12 months of your usage, and then looks at your peaks. So what it's gonna do is, it's gonna look at your highest months that you've used data, and then create a customized rate plan around that month, so that you know. But to that question you stated about the contract, I don't know how old everyone here is, but the carriers used to make it where when you change from plan A to B, or B to C, or D to A, or whatever you're changing, it automatically renewed your contract for 2 years. And finally, the FCC stepped in, I think about 4 years ago, and put a kibosh to that, because customers had 2 months left of their contract. And they realized that, wait a minute, I have a better plan that's on the shelf, and they would automatically change from plan A to B, and then they found themselves in a 2-year contract. And it was deceitful. I mean, all the carriers were doing it, but it got to a point that enough people were complaining to the FCC that, wait a minute, this is not right. You know, I'm just changing plans from plan this to this because it better suits what I need. And the carriers were automatically going, okay, you're with us for 2 more years. So now they've done it to where they finance the phone. So basically, if you're financing a phone, that's your contract. So, next question.
Do you think that you will have any issues with the carrier since you say you are an independent distributor and now you almost be competing with them by lowering
Well,
the brand?
I'm just assisting the clients. I mean, my main objective is to save customers money. I'm not in the business of going out after customers and saying, you gotta use me for your activations. I found that if it's a client that has a lot of phones and I can help them activate 20 or 30 phones, it's beneficial. I'm not really going out trying to knock on everyone's door saying, use me for activations, use me for upgrades, you know. That's a whole another ball of wax. You know, I offer that to my customers as a compliment, to compliment my service now, but I'm not out there knocking on the doors, so. You know, so.
How often can you change? Could you do this once a month?
How often can I save somebody money?
As a customer, how often could I go on there and
You
go?
can change daily. Yeah. I mean, I do a bill review for my customers once a year. So basically, if you sign on with me today, 12 months from today, I'm going to do another bill review. And then if we save, say, $50, you know, in 6 months from now, we split that $50 for 12 months. So it's kind of an open-ended contract because unless somebody, in 12 months, if I cannot find savings, we kind of fall off. But if in 12 months I find another plan that's going to save you $30 a month, for instance, then we split that $30 for 12 months. Questions? One more, okay.
Another one. How do you scale this business? It sounds like
Well,
you actually
yeah,
get on the phone.
that's kind of where I'm at right now. I bootstrapped it this far, and I'm at a point where I need funding. What I know right now, as much as I'd love to say, I'd love to be on Good Morning America with my service or some large Dave Ramsey show or be mentioned, I'm not in a position to handle 1,000 customers or activations. What I'm looking at doing right now is a little bit of radio advertising in St. Louis, a little bit of Google PPC campaign, a little bit of Facebook advertising. I'm working with a company called The Hoff. They do online articles where they basically do paid performance articles. I'm in that position right now where I'm ready to turn the faucet on a little bit and kind of scale it over the next couple months and then be able to roll this out nationwide. You know, so I think ultimately in going to a VC firm or any type of angel investor, they kind of want to see that you have some growth. They want to see that the business is up and running. Right now, I'm in a position where it's just launching, so I think I'm probably a month or two out before I'm able to sit down with somebody and say, hey, this is what we're doing.
You said that you're not ready for 1,000 customers, so why aren't you? So what would you need to do? Is
I just
it
need to
hiring
build
more
it.
people?
Yeah, hire more
Is it-
people. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I need to grow. I need to have enough people for customer service. You know, I gotta have people to answer the phones and help me with the changes. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to be mentioned on Good Morning America and have 1,000 customers, but I think it wouldn't be doing my business just because if you have 1,000 customers and you're not getting back with those customers in a timely fashion, then all of a sudden people go, I thought it was too good to be true, and it is, you know. So I really want to make sure that I'm able to do what I say I do for clients. And, Sandy?
Yeah, so what's the biggest barrier to entry? It sounds like
Getting people to believe it.
You saw your bill. Are you ready to sign up right now?
Oh, yeah.
So what's the barrier?
Showing people. I mean, really, honestly, I'm looking to do as many of these lunch and learns and breakfast with benefits, as many as possible. I mean, really, that and radio advertising. Nothing against radio advertising, straight advertising, but I'm a real huge fan of endorsement. Like Dave Glover talking about your service. Having customers who have used my service call into the station and say, hey, I used it. It takes 60 seconds, you should do it. Another thing I'm trying to do is get as many customers who have used my service to send me just a quick little little video clip. I mean, I have them on my website now. Customers have used it, but just, hey, my name is John Smith. I use ReviewMyBill.com and saved $50 a month, or saved me $30 a month, or saved me $100 a month. Because I think once people see other people, real people, it doesn't have to be professionally shot. Just even if it's a simple cell phone video, handheld, selfie. Hey, I saved $80 a month. The more and more people you see who have saved it, then all of a sudden that feeling of, oh, is this real? Is this not real? Kind of falls aside. So that's my big hurdle right now, is getting people to believe it. I know I've made it really simple.
But can you tell me why they don't believe it?
I think it goes back to that if it's too good to be true, probably is philosophy. I mean, here, if I was sitting in your seats right now and someone was telling me that in 60 seconds you're going to see savings on your cell phone bill, I would be questioning it. So, that's why, I said to everyone here, for this 1MC25 code, I'll throw a $25 credit on everyone's bill. So it's a win-win for everybody here, so. Yeah, that's my biggest hurdle, is getting people to believe that I do as I say. So that's why I let people do it, let people try me out first. That's the way it should be, So. Any more questions?
Okay.
All right, well, I have a stack of business cards if anybody wants my card, or if he wants to try my website out, so I appreciate
one
it.
more question, because we always end with the same question when I remember to ask it.
When you remember to ask it.
Yeah. You've already answered it in some ways, but if there's anything else, the main points of 1 Million Cups is to get help from the community. So is there anything else the community can do for you?
Obviously, I do, not to sound salesy, because I really hate it, but I always am looking for introductions to any businesses that have cell phones. And honestly, I'm looking for venture capitalists. I'm looking for any insight. I am brand new to this, and I'm green, and I'm wet behind the ears. So if there's something you guys think that I could be doing, or something better, I'm all open to it. Obviously, I am brand new to this. I don't even have a Facebook page myself. And that's how much, and I know that that's crazy to do that, because in the world of social media, you gotta have this for your business. You've got to start utilizing it. And it's just one of those things that I got a pit in my stomach when I think about it. So I'm looking for somebody locally who does social media. Somebody I can sit down with and say, hey, what can we do? Just what's going to cost me per customer to acquire a customer? Someone who understands that dynamic, that can say, oh, listen, we can do this. We can do a little bit of advertising here. We can test the waters out. We can see what your customers are costing you. And then if it starts working out that it's costing you $20 to get a customer, then you say, okay, let's turn it on a little higher.
Okay, well, there's our topics for the coffee drinking and socializing time. So if you've got thoughts about that and want
Thank you, gentlemen
Nick,
and ladies. Thank you very much.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
coming.